This video is for World of Tanks. What is a derp gun? A derp gun is a gun that has low penetration and does a high amount of damage. If you look at this gun, notice the shape of the gun, how it seems to be a little bit thicker than you would. Actually, this might not be a derp gun, so we'll try a different one. So notice this one, how short the gun is. It's a very short gun, which indicates it is a derp gun because it has a large diameter, and for the tier that it is, you can see this vehicle also has a very short gun, which has a relatively large diameter in comparison to the tier that it's in. So another famous one is the KV2, which is right here, and you'll notice that it has a very short gun with a large diameter. These vehicles have usually high damage. This one averages 700, which is really good for the tier 6. The penetration is low. This is how you offset, how you balance the vehicle. Usually it takes a lot longer. This particular vehicle takes 23 seconds to load the ammunition. And then you have issues with the aim time. The way the game balances is that derp guns, which are high damage, low penetration, usually take longer to aim. There's also a value called dispersion. They usually also have high dispersion values. Like, for example, this one is 0.53, but a lot of vehicles are only 0.35. So that's a very high dispersion value, which means that the ammunition will not be so accurate, hitting dead center on where you're aiming. Aim time for this vehicle is 3.17, but there's a lot of vehicles that are less than 2 for aim time. So it's actually a relatively long aim time, although it's not the worst. In some cases, a derp gun will give you a higher average damage per minute, which is the DPM, and in some cases it'll give you a lower average damage per minute. We're going to look at the Cromwell, which is here in the tech tree for Britain. You see it's right here. And you'll notice it's got a lot of guns. There's 5 different guns to pick from. And this one right here, it says 3.7-inch howitzer. The image shown with this gun is not the image that reflects the gun. It's a different image. It's a stock image. It's not what the gun looks like. But you notice the average damage is 370, which is very high for a medium tank, considering this one is only 135 for damage, so it's almost triple. And you notice the average penetration is really low. It's only 47. General rule, the derp guns are going to be about 2.5 times the damage as you're going to get from the non-derp guns, and definitely a lot lower penetration. It's going to take longer to reload. The dispersion values are going to be high, and the aim times are going to be high. One of the strategies that you use is if you have a fast tank, you get close to the enemy, get behind him, hit him in the rear, and then run. Another famous vehicle that is a derp gun is the T-49, which is right here. There is... Or did they take it away? No. You see how this gun says 76 penetration, but the damage is 910? That's definitely a derp gun. The amount of damage it does is extremely high. The penetration is very low. The reload time is 23 seconds, while a regular gun is only 6 seconds. So it also has a high dispersion, 0.57, while the other vehicle is 0.4. And the aim time 2.3 compared to 3.6 with the derp gun. You can see it has a very short gun on it. They're not accurate. They take a long time to aim. They do a lot of damage only if you penetrate. You might have to use gold rounds, the premium rounds, the more expensive rounds, more often if you use a derp gun, because the way they balance the game, the regular rounds really only work against lower tiers or against weakly armored vehicles. Once you get into the stronger armored vehicles or vehicles with spaced armor, you're going to have less impact. And also, you have to be better about choosing the armor that you're aiming for. If you look at the front of a tank, you might get better penetration if you drop the shell underneath the tank and it has a burst radius. See, this one has a 3.6 burst radius. 3.6 meters is enough that you should be able to hit the ground under the tank and damage the under armor because the under armor is very weak. Okay, so that's what a derp gun is. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.